At a home in Bel Air, everything was right with the world. Her parents named her Avery.
Avery.
She arrived perfect and with a smile. But just a few months old, her legs went limp. Something was wrong.
I just started screaming, and it just doesn't seem real.
What was real was spinal muscular atrophy, a rare genetic disorder. The legs first, Avery's use of her arms will be next, then the ability to breathe. At best, doctors give her 18 months. So what do you do with that little time? You dance.
You like that?
Mike and Laura KHOU-TV took Avery's story online, created her own blog.
The reality is that this disease will take my life.
And offered her own bucket list, the moments, the memories they want her to have before she's gone.
Hey, Avery, you silly girl, look. Mike always told me we've got all the time in the world to cry. We can cry, you know, when she's no longer here. But for now, we want to try and enjoy the time we do have with her and just make memories.
Memories like her first Easter, her first trip to college, her first innocent kiss, her first little girl tea party with her mom.
Oh, yummy.
All of this online for a reason.
We can watch her die or we can let her live. And through letting her live, we're gonna try and educate other people about this so that they don't have to go through it too.
SMA is a genetic disorder. There is no cure and very little research. But parents can get tested to find out if they are carriers, if it's something they could pass to a child.
It's very aggravating that no one knows about this.
I refuse to think that my daughter will die in vain.
So Mike and Laura promised to chronicle every moment in a very short life so that we remember Avery, remember a disease that needs more research, and remember how they spent each day.
We didn't sit there and cry that day. We sat there and we made memories with our daughter.
And lots of them.
Memories they will keep alive, hoping someday they lead to a cure. Kevin Reece, KHOU 11 News.
We got married on July 24th of 2004.
Kristen and Tyson Wallace were happy. They had everything they wanted except a family. That would take 7 more years. A medical struggle Kristen bound in books to remember it all. Like the day they first heard a heartbeat.
My husband had brought a camera and a video camera, and he was going to video it, and he dropped both of them when we heard the heartbeat. It was just, and he just couldn't stop crying.
And then March 12th, 2011.
It was the best moment of my life.
Twins, Eleanor and Olivia.
And he just kept whispering to me, we're finally a family, we're finally a family, it's so perfect. I'll never forget the look on his face. He kept saying, I finally have everything I've ever wanted. It was just, it was so perfect. It was really perfect. It was a great day.
But those great days would only last another 10 months. January 18th, 9:17 in the morning.
Nobody would tell me what was going on. They just said he wasn't breathing, that he'd collapsed.
Tyson was only 30 years old. His heart ruptured. There was nothing doctors could do.
I never in a million years ever imagined that I would be 30 years old and not have my husband. He was my whole world, and we were so happy, and we finally had our family. And out of the blue, my entire world fell apart. He was perfect. He was fine. He was fine that morning.
It's a really silent killer, and you can have no clue that you have a problem. It's incredibly rare, with only a few hundred people that have been diagnosed.
The rare disorder that took Tyson is called Louis-Dietz syndrome, a silent killer that enlarges the aorta and aneurysm, stretches it until it can't stretch anymore.
If it's something that we could have prevented, I think if we had known about it, they would have done surgery on my husband, and he could still be here, and my daughters would still have their father, and I would still have my husband. You say hi?
But while Kristen still has her daughters, their dad's heart problem is genetic. The girls have it too.
So we found out right after they turned 1.
The average life expectancy is just 26 years.
The concern is that they will have an aneurysm that dissects and they will rupture their aorta at a young age, like in 20s and 30s, which is exactly what happened with their dad.
But this is where Kristen's books start talking about hope, because Tyson's tragic death gives his girls a fighting chance.
If this had to happen, maybe this is how we found out that we're gonna save my daughter's lives, because we never would have known about it. I would never sacrifice my husband for my daughters, but he did save their life.
Medication can slow the damage, and heart surgery may come at an earlier age.
All done, all done.
And it's been encouraging, actually, it really is. So hopefully we can slow down the progression of any of this. But what could have been done for him is what we're doing for the girls.
The blessing and the curse for Eleanor and Olivia is that they will always have their daddy's heart. But now doctors also have his warning as his last gift.
I will do whatever I can to honor my husband and his legacy, which is them. When I look at them, I see him. They look like him, they smile like him, they act like him. They are his little children. He gave me these children, and I'm gonna raise them knowing that their father loved them and their heavenly Father loves them even more, and that he's watching out for them, and that he is taking care of them. And I choose to believe that.
A belief that could help keep two daddy's girls alive.
I didn't go anywhere.
In Friendswood, Kevin Reece, KHOU 11 News. In this auditorium, there are 2,193 stories to tell. Stories of every race and creed. Stories from 124 countries. Like the soldiers proudly becoming citizens of the country they've already proudly served. And then there is Julie Aftab in a story that starts with the cross and the scars around her neck. She is Pakistani, and she was just 16 when two Muslim men didn't like the cross necklace she wore. They responded with a jar of acid, melting half her face, her neck, both arms. They tried to destroy a girl.
Please say, I will.
I will.
And created an American citizen.
Oh my gosh, this word makes, it's the sweetest sound of anybody's voice that say you're an American citizen.
Julie received political asylum, an American foster family, and the support of the Catholic Church.
I waited for 8.5 years to hear this word, and this word means so much to me.
And she addressed her new fellow citizens today to show what two men and religious intolerance could not erase.
This is one chapter. You're going to close that chapter and start the new one. One bad thing did not mean that life is ended. There is a new beginning.
This new citizen graduated from high school in 2 years, is the first in her family to go to college, suffered 31 surgeries. And if you ask, she'll tell you about her scars.
And I believe that after every dark night, there will be day, as he promised.
For Julie Aftab, beauty can be much more than just skin deep, and courage even deeper still. Kevin Reece, KHOU 11 News.